Welcome to Author 3Q&A, where authors are asked 3 random questions and you, the viewer, get to comment. The following 3 questions have been chosen at random by the authors who are given a reasonable amount of time, not really, to answer them in video stitch format. My name is Eric Bro, creator of Sins of Redemption, and today's author is Maria Von Rummelhoff. Becoming an author, especially an indie author, is no joke. There are formidable barriers to success, but no one, to my knowledge, knows barriers and how to overcome them more than this indie author. As a Norwegian author, she has had to overcome language barriers and small market opportunities. Her school years were overshadowed with reading and writing challenges, and she has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which has been a source of sometimes debilitating pain. This greatly limits how much time she can write or even function normally. Yet, she has persisted and overcome. And when she and her husband decided to have a family, there were challenges. But 3 years later, they became parents to 2 beautiful twin boys. This is an author who faces challenges and pushes through to success. Maria's first release was Caramel, Chocolate, and Other Delicious Stories, a Christmas short story. It was soon followed by her debut full-length novel, Magic of the Night, which was translated from Norwegian to English in 2003 and is available globally. And I want to talk to you about this book for a second. It is a romantic fantasy novel that expresses many of the harsh realities of her own life. And I must admit, I bought it. And despite some of the language expression being lost in the translation, I see a nascent author's captivating writing style that will only grow into a force to be reckoned with. Like author, like book, and back again. Maria is currently working on 5 other novels, top secret stuff. And when I think of Maria, I think of words like perseverance and strength, determination, passion, and courage. So I was very happy when she accepted to be our second indie author for our 3Q&A. So Maria, here are your 3 questions. Question number 1. Can you share a brief overview of your current work in progress?
My current work in progress is the paranormal romance. It's not set in the Magic of the Night universe at all. This is a standalone book that I'm trying to open some doors for me in Norway. So I'm writing that. It's about selling your soul to the devil. There's this There's this stonemason who a few hundred years ago sells his soul to the bad guy, and he doesn't read between the lines, and he, as most people have heard before, if you sell the soul to the devil, it's always a catch, and he doesn't understand this in his drunken haze, and he ruins his life and his daughter's. His wife has passed already, so he's all alone, and yeah. Fast forward till today, he has passed, and his daughter is still here, young and fresh and beautiful as always. And she has this thing that's happening to her every once in a while that kind of makes this a strange story. So, but yes, it's a romance. It's not kind of like just romance book, because I like the story, that's why. But I also like the kind of relationship building with the characters, so I think that's important as well. And this is a kind of a college romance, I guess, because it's set in college. She's in college. She meets a guy who's in college. Yeah. It's hard to explain everything. I don't want to tell anyone about any plots or stuff like that, but I can say that it involves a lot of statues of her. And you can see why this can be a special thing about this girl. Yeah.
Question number 2. What is your process for editing and revising your work, and what challenges do you commonly encounter in that process?
My process and my challenges. Let's see. My process is often, I'm a planner and pantser. I fly by the seat of my pants and I plan. I do an outline and I start writing, and I tend to let the story just hit it off in either or direction. So that's kind of how I write. I need to know the end. That's a must for me. I need to know where I'm going. It is not always that I end up quite exactly at that end, but somewhere along the way I need to have an ending. As for the challenges, my challenge is that I have a little trouble with spelling. It's because of my challenges when I was in school and high school and stuff, and that's kind of stuck with me. And I don't read a lot of Norwegian, so I'm kind of lame in my own language. So I tend to get people to read for me, to see if there's any sentences or paragraph that needs more details, if they don't understand what I'm saying and stuff like that. So I always have someone to read for me. Not just one. I have a lot of people reading for me. I need that. I also do, since I'm Norwegian, I write in Norwegian, but my book Magic of the Night was translated to English. I did have someone do that for me. She was new, but she's studied abroad and stuff, and she's a literal genius. But this was new to us both, so we did it kind of side by side, and it was the learning process. I know there's some mistakes in the book, but they're just as well my mistakes as hers. So there's I hope I'm forgiven. But it's kind of a learning curve, and since I'm an indie author, I don't have let's see, $10,000 to use for translating a book with 130,000 words. That's kind of it. I cannot do that. So that's why I had to pay something else. But if I have a short story, I don't get anyone to translate it. I do it myself. And I kind of skip it between programs or software. Like I can do it in Scrivener and I can copy it into Word just to see the difference in grammar, because there's a lot of difference. And you have Grammarly as well, trying to skip between the programs to kind of be sure that you find the right spelling and the right wording and pronouncements and the grammar all over. So that's kind of my process.
Question number 3. How do current trends and expectations at large influence your writing choices and your promotional strategies?
Okay, give me the hard questions, why don't you? Well, let's see. This is a hard one because I tend to follow my own advice. Like, if I want to read a certain genre, I read a certain genre. And if I want to write that genre, I do. I don't usually go for what everyone else does. That being said, you cannot write anything in this day and age without taking certain precautions, if you will. What was completely ordinary way to write books 15 years ago, you cannot do the same way anymore. Certain areas or themes have to be considered, like gender and skin color and stuff like that. But I don't read books because of either. well, I'm lying, because I do like Eminem books, but I don't just read them. I read a lot of others as well. But I don't see skin color when I read, so that's not something I actually do consider a lot. I just read. I don't care what color people are, and but I don't let it affect me. Like, I don't do my choices for what I'm going to write because what people and media says. I do as I want. I'm kind of a little child like that. If I want something, I do it. And if people don't think it's wise of me to do it, then, well, they can think whatever they want. I do my writing my way. If I didn't do that, it wouldn't be a good story either way. So yeah. But I do think if you are a writer, you should consider being open-minded and don't write about certain hard topics that are going to be controversial. Try to be open-minded. It's the easiest way. You won't harm anyone, and people will probably thank you for it. The promotional standpoint, that's a hard one. Promotion and social media is really hard because it changes all the time. What was easy a couple of years ago is not anything that works today. A couple of years ago, you could send out PR boxes to TikTokers and they would be ecstatic. They would be going through the roof, and you would have hundreds and hundreds of people seeing it. And now they're kind of every day and you see them all over. People don't care as much anymore. And what I tend to see is that posts that are negative, it doesn't mean that they speak bad or ill about people, but if there's something bad happening, people love it. Like, I had a PR box that got wet and got sent to a person that it was completely ruined. Everything was wet and was moldy, and it got over 250,000 views. That's kind of crazy. The other PR boxes, maybe 1,000 views per page or something. So yeah, people like things that are negative. I don't promote negativity, so I wouldn't do anything negative to get promotion, because it sticks with you if you do something bad. This was an unlucky incident that happened to be positive in the long run, but I don't recommend doing things like that. This is going to be a long post, I'm sorry. So when it comes to promotion on social media, it's really hard because you have to do something to make people see it, and all those videos about your books and book trailers and stuff like that, people don't see it anymore. I've made tens and tens of, not thousands, but I've made a lot of them. I even have a really good trailer for the book that's been really professionally made, and it doesn't get the views that I would want to get on it. And so if I would recommend anything, just don't do any PR boxes. Do ebook arcs beforehand, before promotion, I'm sorry, before release. So do ebook arcs, as many as you can, for 4 to 6 weeks before the release. If you're going to send someone books that you want to talk about, send them the book, maybe a card and some stickers or something. Do not do big PR boxes. They're not worth it, and you don't get much back, unfortunately. Take your time, make the book beautiful, because people look at books and they think that, wow, this has to be good inside as well. So do that. And what else? I don't know. be careful of where you put your money in PR, because the ones that I've seen doesn't always mean that you get a lot of worth of it. Doesn't mean sales. It just means money out. So yeah. And I heard someone say the other day that they had done promo on a certain app, and after they did that promo, their views on all their videos just skyrocketed. No, I'm sorry, they just plummeted. Sorry. So I wouldn't put money into this one. I think they get that you paid for it, then they think that, if we put down the views, they have to pay for it again. I'm not sure. That's what I think. This is too long post, isn't it?